Hello everybody, it's Paul and welcome to the next installment in my Blackrock Foundry raid guide. In this video I'll go ahead and cover the Hanz'Gar and Franzok encounter. From now on I'm going to just refer to these guys as Hank and Frank. Alright, first off, just a note on the quality of this video. I had to pull this off my live stream because we ended up two-shotting this boss. I think it's actually the easiest boss in the raid instance, but because it's not in Slagworks, people tend to gravitate towards Gruul a little bit. But other than some very heavy movement phases and some pretty high spikes of damage on your tanks, it's pretty straightforward. To start off the fight, your tanks should pick up the bosses and put them into the middle like this, and all of your ranges spread out at least 7 yards apart. The tank mechanic in this fight is actually called crippling suplex. What will happen is one of these two bros will pick you up like I'm about to get picked up here. He will throw you to the other guy, and that guy will then slam you on top of the other two. Now the tank that's on the ground should blow a big personal cooldown, and the tank that got picked up should get a cooldown from a healer because you cannot use abilities until 6.1 while you are picked up and held by the guy that's about to slam you. So again, to sum up, guy that's being held, healer cooldown, the guy that's on the ground, personal cooldown. At 85% health, Hanz'Gar will actually hop out of the arena and activate the conveyor belt. This will cause these fiery pop darts to spawn, and you can actually avoid these by staying on the other half of that little conveyor belt divider that I'm standing on. You just have to be on the other half of that than the one where the pop dart is moving. So you want to keep your raid a little bit spread out the best as you can, and you want to minimize the movement that you're actually doing so that you're getting maximum DPS and healing uptime on the bosses. At about 70% health, Hanz'Gar will rejoin the fight, and the fight will return to phase 1. Now the other ability that actually happens during this encounter is called Disrupting Roar, and it works exactly the same as Disrupting Roar on twins. It will interrupt any casts that are still going. Now your healers should pay extra attention to this, otherwise you might get moments like this on Mumble.
Oh, you son of a bitch! He kicked my track, dude. He kicked track? What the fuck? Oh my god, that guy hates me. No, I hate him.
Okay, well, more on that later on in the fight. The next thing that's going to occur in the fight is around 55% health. Franzok is actually going to leap out of the area, and he's going to activate the conveyor belts again, and we're going to see another movement phase. Okay, so there's also another crippling suplex coming up here. Hyudia got picked up, and he's about to get slammed down on top of me, so you're going to see me blow shield wall. And he got a heal to cooldown, so we both survived, and now we are in this movement transition phase. Now, just like in the previous transition phase, you can avoid this by just standing on the other half of that little divider. But the damage that these do is quite a bit more significant, so you really want to pay attention and play it a little bit safer, maybe move a little bit with the conveyor belts so that you do not get wrecked. The big thing to bear in mind here is that melee damage on the tanks will be relatively high, so if your healers aren't really paying attention and keeping you topped off, you might get wrecked like I'm about to right here. But to be honest, this fight it's just a brain dead check. Like, if you can avoid these standing presses, it should be relatively simple. I'm about to die right here. But as long as the rest of your raid is actually avoiding all of this, you will be fine. Okay, now at 40% and remaining until 25% health, Franzok's going to come on back, and the conveyor belts are stationary, and basically you're just repeating phase 1 here. And then finally, from 25% to 15% health and then on, you are going to alternatively be dealing with searing plates. Then Hanz'Gar will be back, and stamping presses will occur while things are still moving. So it gets a little bit chaotic towards the end, but nothing that you shouldn't be able to handle, provided that you understand how to get out of those movement mechanics. Now you'll notice that I die here, but our other tank is actually fine. Well, first of all, he's a Death Knight, so duh. But he's fine for the remainder of the fight until we get our cooldown back and I get rezzed, which will happen sub 25%, I believe. But that about does it for the fight. It's not a very in-depth guide. There's not a whole lot going on here as long as you're dodging the conveyor belt phases and your range is spread out for the skullcracker jumps. Alright, so I will go ahead and fast forward through the rest of this. Well, except for one part, which I got to give our druid healer a little bit of a hard time because it's pretty funny. So, just to reiterate, Disrupting Shout interrupts casting, and really should be something that your healers look out for, just saying.
Oh my god! What happened? He kicked me. I saw he kicked Frank again. We lost the fight for us. Are you kidding me?
I'm sorry, people, that was just really fucking funny, so I had to keep it in here. Alright, but as far as the fight goes, that really is it. Again, these last 15% are a little bit more chaotic, but as long as everybody's just kind of avoiding these stamping presses and putting good damage onto the boss, you'll be able to get through it without much issue. So, once again, thank you for watching. This has been Paul, and I will see you next time.